Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about the pressure society places on men and females alike. Now, growing up, we all had these dreams and ideas of I'd be married by 23 and I'd have the house by 25 and I'd have the kids by 27. How many of you had dreams similar to that? Now, how many of those dreams were because A, that's what we actually wanted, or B, that's because what society told us we should have by those ages? Now, a lot of the times, we as humans, we make these plans and we have these dreams of what we'd like to accomplish in terms of our personal lives and our relationships and acquiring things like a home and a car and all these amazing assets. But we've all heard the saying, man plans and God laughs, and I think it's so true, because we can make all these plans, but at the end of the day, it doesn't always work out, or things don't happen on our clock or when we think it should happen. It happens at the time when we are ready for it. Now, in life, there's just so many pressures placed on both men and women to acquire things like having a home, like having kids, men being the providers, women staying at home, and women expected to clean, and men don't have to clean the house or do household chores because they are men and they're too manly to be doing these things. But it's time we as a new generation question these societal norms and actually challenge them. Now, a lot of the time these pressures come from our family, like our parents sometimes it comes from friends or acquaintances or people at work, like your colleagues. But where are these pressures, or where are these unrealistic expectations coming from? Now, just because your friend or your cousin had the house by 25 and the kids by 28 doesn't mean you need to either. I mean, yes, it would be great if you could get those things and accomplish those things by that age, but if it doesn't happen by that time, it's okay. It honestly is okay, everyone, and we need to be okay with things happening on our time when it's meant to happen and not on someone else's clock. Just because people have said or keep questioning you about when you're having kids, or your biological clock is ticking, or when you're getting a house, or sure, you're getting old now, all these statements, people joke and they speak to people about them, but how often do we realize the impact these simple statements have on people? These pressures make people feel worthless, it makes them feel less than, it makes them feel incompetent, and it makes them feel like they aren't achieving anything in life. And that's so unfair to them. Everyone is on their own journey, okay? Everyone is in their own season. And when it's meant for you to acquire these things and to have these things, you will have them. But just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen for you. Okay, don't worry about what other people have. Don't worry about what society says in terms of you need to have this by a certain age, you need to have that by a certain age. You're in your lane, and you are doing the absolute best you can with what you've got and with where you are. And when it's meant to happen, everything will fall into place for you. But for now, remove those pressures that society has placed on you or family, and just focus on you and being the best you can do. It'll happen for you. It'll come. But not yet. And that's okay. Maybe you only get married at 35 or 45. Maybe you only get the house late in life. Maybe you only have kids when you're 38, or maybe you choose not to have kids. It's okay. Whatever you decide and whenever you acquire these things, it's okay. And it's time you start being okay with who you are and with what you have and with where you are in life. Don't let society and external pressures make you feel less than or incompetent. Okay, you're a highly intelligent, motivated, wonderful young person. Okay, and just because you haven't got these things doesn't mean you are worthless or hopeless. Okay, you will get them. Okay, and when people ask you, why haven't you got the kids yet? Or if people ask you, sure, why haven't you got a job yet? Or why haven't you got the house yet? It's actually none of their business. But if you want to, you can very politely respond, you know what, I'm in my own lane and I'm in my own season. And when these things are meant to happen, they will. And that's it. Okay? You don't owe anyone an explanation, but if you want to be polite and answer someone, if they do ask you a question related to your personal life, that's what you can say. But I want to make it clear that we need to remove these norms of women need to cook and clean and men are the only providers and you need to have the house and kids by X age. We need to stand up to those norms or so-called norms, challenge them and be comfortable with where we are at. Life is different now. You know, when our parents were younger, it was easier to acquire or be a homeowner by 22 and have the kids by 23, and not both parents needed to work. Okay, but life has changed and we're living in a different world and people need to understand that. Okay, don't let other people's projections on you make you question your worth or your value. You are precious and you mean something to this world. And when the time is right, all these things that you have hoped for will fall into place for you. Okay, it will happen. It might not have happened just yet. Okay, stay in faith, stay in your lane, and know that you are exactly where you need to be for now. Okay. Have a fantastic rest of week, everyone, and we will speak next week, Wednesday again.